What's good? What's good? You already know who it is. It's your boy, Mafia. It's time for that Culture for the Streets, man. Hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel. Ding that notification bell. Don't leave up out the trap till you've been served. First and foremost, I want to start off saying condolences to Master P and his family. He lost his daughter, Tytyanna. You know what I'm saying? And anytime somebody lose their life like that, or just, you know what I'm saying, just innocence, period, you see what I'm saying? I'm gonna get on my platform and I'm gonna show respect to the family because I grew up off Master P. So, you know what I'm saying? Regardless if he ain't relevant in hip hop today, it's still prayers for his family, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't wish no family to lose a loved one, you know what I'm saying? I done lost both of my parents, all my grandparents, a lot of my aunts and uncles. I done lost a lot of family, so, you know what I'm saying? Condolences to P and his family, man, because I know that was a hit right there. You know what I'm saying? Losing one of your kids is always a hit. And secondly, I want to talk about the situation in Texas, because the shooter allegedly was deactivated by a civilian, which was allegedly getting his hair cut. Got a call from his wife about what was happening, took somebody else's gun, went to the school where they already had officers and security and shit already there when the kids was getting shot and killed and everything, and they was just like watching. He came up in that motherfucker, blew past all that, and took care of the situation. So I got to give him his flowers on being a hero, because he didn't have to risk his life like that, because he definitely risked his life trying to go and get the shooter up out that school. You know what I'm saying? And it was a whole bunch of other people that had that opportunity to do same thing, whose job was to do just that and didn't do it. But a civilian came and actually got rid of the shooter. You know what I'm saying? So salute to that man, Jacob Alvarado. You know what I'm saying? Because without you, we don't know how many other people would have got killed. We don't know how many more kids would have lost their life. We don't know how much more trauma would have been passed out due to the situation. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, everybody, I don't care if you hashtag that man on IG, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, any social platform, man. Jacob Alvarado deserves his flowers and a shout out, because that man is a modern day today hero for what he did and his actions. Like, he was not even at the school when it happened. So, you know what I'm saying? For that man to go out his way and go to the school because he has a kid in that school, which any parent would kind of think like that. So, you know what I'm saying? That man was really a hero for that, because he didn't just save his kid, he saved the school. So once again, you know what I'm saying? Big shout out to Jacob Alvarado, man, from Texas, man, for putting his life on the line to see that didn't nobody else lose theirs. You know what I'm saying? That was important. And third, I just want to tap in on this Ksoo thing, because this is a tricky situation. And if you ain't a street dude, you're not really going to know what's going on with this shit for as the process and certain types of things. Everybody look at Ksoo like he wrong for not getting his pops off the hook. We all know that his pops didn't have nothing to do with the killings. He was in the car when he lost a son, due to, you know, the car getting shot up and people shooting the car up, and he lost a son. Multiple people got shot in that situation too. But in this situation, when Ksoo allegedly caught his body, put his demo down, did his shit, you see what I'm saying? They trying to charge the dad with murder too, and he wasn't even there when Ksoo committed the actual murders. All he did was pick Ksoo up when Ksoo bounced out the whip and, you know, ended up needing to be picked up so he can get all the way away. His dad came through and saved him. That's all. So if anything, he got minor charges for some shit like that versus murder charges. I understand where the dad coming from, saying, you know what I'm saying, you should get me up out this hole because I didn't have, you know, I didn't have nothing to do with the actual murders. But you got to understand Ksoo side in this situation. These are murder charges. That nigga life on the line. Ksoo not trying to tap out on this case, man. Ksoo trying to beat this case. So for him to beat this case, he got to shut the fuck up, just like the dad got to shut the fuck up. Because if he say, well, my dad didn't have nothing to do with it, He wasn't in the car. He wasn't there when the shooting took place. You putting yourself at the scene. And Ksoo can't afford to do that, because if he do, okay, my pops ain't had, get his pops up out the jam, it put him in more of a situation. So now, do his pops give a fuck that that's throwing his son's life away? Versus, let's see if we can beat this shit. So it's a tricky situation, because his freedom on the line when he wasn't there when actual murders were committed. And I understand that. As a father, I understand totally what he's saying. But you got to understand the situation your son is in right now. He being charged with murders. Not one murder, but two. So, nigga, if he just come out and say, well, my pops wasn't there and do all this, if he just get the directing traffic to get you up out of the situation, it's going to put him in a bowl full of shit. And we all know it takes a few years to beat murder cases and shit like that, because it's a process. You know what I'm saying? So we only gonna see in time how this pans out. But I know the reason for Ksoo not saying anything is because he don't want to place himself at the scene. And let's just be real. Stating that his dad wasn't there, stating that his dad wasn't in the car, stating that his dad wasn't there when the shooting took place, when the actual murders was being put down. You know how they gonna look at it. The DA and all these motherfuckers gonna look at it. They gonna look like, well, how you know? How did you know that? How you know this to be a fact? So it's really a press game. Niggas, you willing to let your dad go down all so you can see if you could beat this case, being on some baby selfish type shit? So the press is on. And right now we see Ksoo pops done folded. You know what I'm saying? So now Ksoo in a different type of situation where his life is even more at risk. His freedom is even more at risk, because now a person that knows more about the situation, that didn't have nothing to do with it, that want to get itself up out of it, finna turn witness on you. And it happened to be your blood, your father, the person that helped, is 50% responsible for your life, that gave you life. You know what I'm saying? So this shit is fucked up. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people critique this situation, and they ain't even street niggas. You can't be no fucking civilian and critique this situation when you ain't never been in no situation like that. You don't know nobody that been in a situation like that. You don't understand the streets. One choice that Ksoo dad did have in the matter was the fact that he ain't have to come pick his son up. He ain't had to go pick him up. He could have left himself out the situation, but he chose to go pick that nigga up. So I feel like this. Sit your ass down just like your son sitting his ass down. Because you double-dutched yourself into that situation. So, nigga, see how this shit pan out. Versus go and put your son in these people's hands, man. Because he basically doing what they want him to do. You know what I'm saying? I hope that whole situation smoothing out a little bit more, because we know what's going on in Jacksonville. And Jacksonville lit right now. The streets is on fire right now. And there's a lot of politics going on in them streets. A lot of bodies dropping, bloodshed. This shit is going on everywhere, man. So you know what I'm saying? This Ksoo situation, there's a lot of Ksoo situations in other states and other cities, man. This just more in the light because these niggas got followings and they more popular. They got a little bit of celebrity to them in the hip hop world. So we seeing this shit a little bit more in our face, you know what I'm saying? But that's all I wanted to, I just wanted to get my insight on that shit, you know what I'm saying? And, may the best situation transpire from the situation they in, you see what I'm saying? Anyway, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. It's time for that. Culture for the streets.